Labour Party, Peter Obi's lawyers continue inspection of election materials, may examine 11,000 pages of back-end reports. Wow. So how is this report coming out to say they continue examining reports when it's also coming out that they have Inec is consistently refusing the lawyers access to those documents? Which report do we believe? Okay, let's see what this news has to say. This is from Sahara Reporters, actually. So this is just as the Independent National Electoral Commission, Inec, said the bimodal voter accreditation system and back-end report of over 11,000 pages was being finalized and would be made available to the lawyers. So what it means is that the lawyers actually have not seen anything yet. They are backing up, and then after backing up, that is when they will allow the lawyers to go through the document. So they have not started. That is what it means. Lawyers of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, since Monday have been inspecting the election materials used for the February 25, 2023 election, as directed by the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal. This is just as the Independent National Electoral Commission said the bimodal voter accreditation and back-end report of over 11,000 pages, was being finalized and would be made available to the lawyers. The commission said the February 25 result sheets and ballot papers were in the various states, not at the Inec headquarters, Abuja. So the Labour Party lawyers, as well as their People's Democratic Party and All Progressive Congress APC counterpart, had met with the Independent National Electoral Commission lawyers in Abuja Tuesday. It will be recalled that the Court of Appeal in Abuja had granted the request of PDP's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, Labour Party's Obi, and that of the President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC to inspect the election materials used during the presidential poll. A report submitted on Tuesday to Inec by the three parties' lawyers indicated that the Labour Party's team began inspection on Monday. Speaking on behalf of Inec's lawyer, Tanimu Inua San, said the commission had forms EC8D, summary of result of which of each state, and FCT, then EC8DA, national summary, and EC8A. He said the BVAS and back-end report of over 11,000 pages was being finalized and that the result sheets and ballot papers were in the various states, not at the Inec headquarters. He suggested that a timeline for visitation for all parties be made for ease and the persons appointed to inspect be limited. So what are they trying to tell us now? That Labour Party since on Monday has started inspecting the election materials, and now they are saying that they inspected the forms and about 11,000 pages of the document from the back end have been inspected so far. That is what I say. But again, they are saying that the hard copies, or the polling unit results are still resident in the state and not at the INEC national headquarters at Abuja. So what does that mean? So is INEC telling us that they didn't receive copies of those things from the state? Because that is the truth. So if they didn't receive those copies from the state through the soft mailing or whatever, soft messaging, how then did they get the number to conclude the election? Because what happens is that the hard copies, even though they are resident in the state, they would have scanned and sent it to them, and then they should produce that as well. So whatever that is in INEC headquarters possession at Abuja should not be different from what each of the states is having in its possession as well. So telling us that the polling unit results from each state are still resident in the state, they are not at Abuja, it's not a good reason to to maneuver through those documents, or probably not presenting those documents to the lawyers to see. That is the truth. So that is what is happening here. So this is more like a progress report that Peter Obi's lawyers are already inspecting election materials and may have gone through almost 11,000 pages of back-end report. Okay, but the question here is, why is INEC using delay tactics? Why did they refuse them access to the document initially? Okay, because their excuse is that they are preparing for the governorship elections, and so they need time to prepare for that election, saying that the inspection of the report by the lawyers will interfere with the preparation time for the forthcoming governorship and state house of assembly elections. But all those are excuses actually, because Dino Melaye has come out to shout that INEC is imputing wrong figures into the election report that is being backed up at the back end server. Okay, that INEC is putting wrong figures, but he promised them that PDP will shock INEC because they will produce their own report too that proves that INEC is putting wrong report into the server at the back end. Okay, so generally, if you look at the way INEC is behaving in this process, it shows that they are buying time to clean up the mess they put themselves by streamlining all the record they use in declaring Asiwaju president-elect. Okay, because they know that ordinarily, if they should allow PDP and Labour Party to stumble on those documents, they are going to be exposed. Because obviously, even after declaring Tinubu the president, INEC was still receiving input report from the state. Okay, and by the time they go through those reports and compare to the report that was used to declare Tinubu president-elect, of course, there's going to be variance. There's going to be serious discrepancy that will raise questions, that will raise red flags. Okay, so that is the situation that we are seeing here from Sahara Reporter saying Labour Party is already inspecting or started inspecting election reports since on Monday. Okay, and and progression, that is what he's saying. But what INEC is also saying is that in the midst of that, they're also preparing, getting everything ready for the forthcoming election. But what I know is that INEC way is not clear. INEC has been tactical. Initially, INEC came out to say they will never allow any political party to regulate them. They will never allow any political party to have access to the raw data, because that is like a student trying to say you sit with the examiner when he's setting questions. That is the way, the analogy that INEC used. But it's obvious that INEC has done a lot of shady things that they don't want exposed. Rather, they will buy time to clean them up, and then before they can allow anybody to see the documents. But this one is going to choke them, because the PDP and the Labour Party lawyers are not joking over this matter. They must get to the root of it. So thank you for listening, and let's have a comment.